The TV show I starred in was trending online, but back then, I willingly gave up the lead male role to the brother-in-law of the CEO. He compensated me with hundreds of thousands of dollars. She, Claire Jiang, was pleased, thought I was being magnanimous, and signed every single transfer agreement without hesitation. When she was about to sign the divorce papers, I, Ethan Shao, felt a strange anxiety, as if she would lose something after signing. At this time, I asked the system about Claire's affection level towards me. The system remained firm, 99 points. Just one more point and I'd receive the reward of a wish from the alternate world mission. Then what was her affection level for Shan Shao? 98 points. I gave a bitter laugh. Just send me back to my original world. I don't need the reward. The request has been sent. You can leave this world in a month. Consider it further, you can change your mind anytime. Okay, thanks. My mind drifted back. I wasn't from this world. The system had brought me here, saying that if I could get anyone in this world to a 100-point affection level, I could take a wish back to my original world. I had a very important wish to fulfill, so I diligently did the missions. At first, I wanted to win over my parents in this world, but not all parents love their children. They not only didn't love me, they were cruel. Just when I was desperate, a pale, slender hand pulled me back. I saw a tall woman in a white business suit standing coldly in front of me. Later, I learned that this woman, Claire Jiang, was the most civilized CEO in the entertainment industry of LA. She coldly instructed her assistant to handle the investors and immediately pulled me away. Before leaving, Claire Jiang handed me a business card. Shao, I also own an entertainment company. You can consider it. Her eyes were cold, but the corners of her mouth held a smile, making her look gentle. Our fingertips accidentally brushed, and my heart skipped a beat. After signing the contract, I discovered that the entire Jiang Corporation only had me as an artist. Claire Jiang used all her resources to promote me, finding the best coaches to train me. I once asked why she was so good to me. She just lightly brushed my face. Some people, you only need to see once, and you never want to let go. After my first leading role aired, Claire Jiang proposed marriage. You're still in development, so we won't go public. Although it was a secret marriage, we had a romantic wedding just for us. Kissing under the fireworks, with every whisper of I love you, so deep, so intense. Seeing the love in Claire Jiang's eyes, feeling my heart thrumming, I was convinced we were in love, and decided to make her my target. Very quickly, Claire Jiang's affection for me reached 99 points. Just that last point, and it wouldn't budge. I thought Claire Jiang had gone 99 steps, it was only natural for me to take the final step. I treated Claire Jiang even better, pouring out all my affection, and even began to hesitate about whether I should really leave after successfully hitting my target. But 5 full years passed, and Claire Jiang's affection for me remained unchanged. I couldn't understand it until that day. I cancelled my schedule and came home early, only to hear Zhao's parents' voices. He's just a substitute. Initially, we cooperated with her in a play to save her. She even insisted on marrying him. Now that our Sean is back, what are we going to do? Although they're both our sons, Sean is our pride. We can't let him suffer. Others simply don't matter. I stood frozen. When I transmigrated here, this body had experienced a shock and lost some memories, only vaguely remembering that there was a half-brother named Shan Shao, who always lived abroad. It seemed that Zhao's parents weren't incapable of loving their children, they just gave all their love to Shan Shao. In the living room, Claire Jiang was silent for a moment, saying, when Shan Shao left without a word, I didn't want to experience that loss again, so even if he's just a substitute, I still wanted to give him a title to keep him by my side. Claire, I was too arrogant to leave you and see the world, but I'm tired and want to stop. Then I heard a clear male voice. Unconsciously, I took a few steps and saw that Claire Jiang's normally composed face was filled with tenderness and pity. Sean, if you're tired, then come back. Back then, you just said you wanted to enter the entertainment industry, and I opened an entertainment company for you. Now, Continue to come back and fulfill your dreams. Shan Xiao said sadly, stop saying you opened a company for me, but you have an artist signed to it. Claire Jiang explained anxiously, he knows. He just looks a bit like you. I only saw him as a substitute, that's why I signed him. He can't compare to you at all. But you guys are married. You still don't understand my heart? A husband can be replaced, but there's only one Shan in the whole world. I stood silently in the hallway, watching Claire Jiang and Shan Xiao gaze at each other, recounting the longing after separation, the joy of reunion. I suddenly understood that during those countless nights, the person she was thinking of was Shan Xiao. She was just loving another man through me. Even their appearance, what I thought was a last-ditch rescue, was just a calculation. No wonder no matter what I did, I couldn't get her 100%. I suddenly found myself ridiculous. A substitute, dreaming of being loved 100%. Now that Shan is back, you two should be together, Zhao's parents suggested enthusiastically. The atmosphere in the house was harmonious and warm, but just a few steps away, my heart was ice cold. Claire Jiang and Shan Xiao were getting closer and closer. I didn't dare to look any further, self-deceptively running away. It wasn't until late at night that I came home, wanting to ask Claire Jiang how she planned to handle the triangle. Who knew she wasn't home at all? The very first day Shan Xiao returned, she rushed to be with him all night long. The next day, I went to the company and saw Claire Jiang holding Shan Xiao's hand as they walked in. Shan Xiao is the new artist we've signed. He's also a key training target in the future. Everyone, please pay more attention to him. Shan Xiao smirked at me. Long time no see, good brother. Thank you for taking care of mom and dad for me. I especially have to thank you for taking care of Claire for me. Otherwise, I really wouldn't dare imagine how sad she would be without me. Clearly, these were ordinary words, but they were full of provocation, almost explicitly implying that I was just his substitute. The employees were all surprised, waiting for Claire Jiang's reaction. Claire Jiang didn't refute, Shan, you're reminding me that two people with similar styles will overlap. Later, Ethan Xiao, change your development style. Any style is fine. The bottom line is, you have to differentiate yourself from Shan. Such a clear distinction made everyone understand her attitude, and also chilled me to the bone. Afterwards, Shan Xiao relied on favoritism to constantly seize my resources, my ads, my entertainment programs, my roles. I tried to resist. Claire Jiang blamed me for being selfish and then unilaterally decided to give everything to Shan Xiao. Even though Shan Xiao clearly had an assistant and a manager, he still wanted to steal my assistant. Claire Jiang, upon hearing this, said without thinking, it's never wrong for Shan, who is new to the industry, to have more people to take care of him. As for you, you're free right now anyway, it's unnecessary to waste human resources. I've accumulated a lot of fans in my 5 years in the industry. Claire Jiang then had the public relations department use the excuse that my health wasn't good and that I needed to rest to silence the fans. Do you know how meaningful it is for Shan to get this role? You're his family, aren't you happy for him? Are you deliberately hiding here to show an attitude? Who are you trying to show this to? I only felt ironic. It turned out that someone who isn't loved doesn't even have the right to be sad. I said calmly, clearly, I passed the audition. You invested to switch to someone else. It's natural for me to be unhappy. Hearing this, a trace of regret flashed across Claire Jiang's face. Shan Xiao immediately walked over. So, in your heart, this brother of yours is just an outsider? I must have done something wrong to make you dislike me, huh? His aggrieved expression made Claire Jiang extremely sympathetic. When facing me, she no longer had a good expression. Ethan Xiao, you even want to hurt your own brother. How cold and selfish. Since you're not sincerely congratulating him, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome as before. Just a few provocative words from Shan Xiao, and Claire Jiang lost her mind. In front of all the guests, she kicked me out, completely disregarding the fact that I would be embarrassed. But I wasn't as heartbroken and flustered as usual. I just indifferently turned around and left the banquet hall. Seeing my abnormality, Claire Jiang was slightly startled, feeling that something was wrong. "Claire, let's go have a drink with the director." Shan Xiao smiled, touching her arm. Claire Jiang then dismissed the strange feeling in her heart. I had just returned home when I saw that social media was very lively, with all kinds of rumors about their love, causing netizens to collectively complain that the dog food was too much, extremely envious. There were also rumors about me. Ethan Xiao, love and career are both withering. Since Claire Jiang and I had a secret marriage at the beginning, the situation was almost one-sidedly mocking me, saying that I'm unemployed now because I was unsuccessful in confessing my love and was blacklisted, saying that I was scheming to be a kept man. Such trending topics would occasionally appear. Claire Jiang never clarified, letting me be swept into the eye of the storm. I turned off the screen and silently printed out the divorce agreement. Since I was going to leave this world, I had to be decisive. I would also go through the procedure to delete my account. After I left, this world would no longer have me. The next morning, I called the relevant department to inquire about deleting my account, learning that after registering on the Citizen Convenience website, the procedure could be completed in a month. I immediately registered. Very good, right at that point, I just happened to leave. Leave what? Claire Jiang's voice came from behind. I turned my head and discovered that Claire Jiang, who hadn't come home all night, had returned with Shan Xiao. I casually replied, "I saw a bird flying away outside the window." Leaving. Hearing this, Claire Jiang let out a quiet sigh. Unheard of. Your family is all here. Where can you go? I only felt ironic. The family of this world was indeed all here, but no one loved me. Fortunately, I was about to return to my real family. Claire Jiang had the servants pack their luggage, noticing the look on my face, that was always indifferent. A strange feeling flashed through her heart. She couldn't help but explain, "Sean just won the lead role of 5, he needs to maintain exposure. I'm going with him to a few tourist spots before the premiere, which has been really popular lately, take a walk." Shan Xiao smiled and hugged her. Director Jiang is so concerned about her employees, right? She's really a good boss. Claire Jiang gently patted his chest, of course. At this time, Shan Xiao coughed softly. Claire Jiang immediately asked anxiously, "Is your throat uncomfortable? Or are you thirsty?" She stopped the servant who was about to pour water. "Let me do it." "What do you like to drink?" What, he doesn't know? A series of fluent actions showed that she often did this, but such concern was something I had never received, whether in life or career. Claire Jiang had never treated me like this. Jiang Entertainment was one of Claire Jiang's many subsidiaries. Previously, when I was the only artist, she rarely asked about things, only letting the team handle things professionally, entrusting things to professionals. After Shan Xiao joined, she did everything herself. As CEO, she was even more attentive than a secretary. The water is delicious. Shan Xiao smiled. I was in a bit of a daze, recalling that after we got married, I had also suggested that the two of us cook together, feeling that it would be warm and could cultivate our relationship. Claire Jiang had rejected it without even thinking, saying that she hated the smell of grease, that she was a dignified CEO, how could she go to the kitchen? But now, she was happily doing it. It turned out that she didn't not want to cook, she just didn't want to cook for me. This was probably the difference between love and no love. Ethan Xiao, aren't you very jealous of me? When Claire Jiang wasn't there, Shan Xiao discarded the artificiality in his eyes. The man was obviously full of malice, but even if I was jealous, it would be useless, because I was just a substitute, forever unable to obtain Claire's love, so I really didn't understand why I still wanted to occupy this position. I laughed coldly. If you want to get into this position so badly, tell her to propose a divorce to me. I've already prepared the divorce agreement and will definitely cooperate. These acts of happiness don't provoke me. I just want to quickly finish the last thing I need to do. My profession in this world is acting. At first, I was pushed into the industry by Zhao's parents, and then it was to not disappoint Claire Jiang. But what I really liked wasn't acting, but directing. After accumulating some experience over the years, I wrote a script myself. Short films are popular nowadays. This is a short film that uses my story as a prototype, called Ethan No Longer Alone. The filming cycle for short films is very short, 1 or 2 weeks at most to complete. Before leaving, I also wanted to leave something meaningful. I worked very efficiently and quickly built the team, only waiting to go home to pack my luggage before I could join the crew and start work. As soon as I entered the house, I heard that it was very lively inside. Claire Jiang and Shan Xiao, along with Zhao's parents, were all there. When they saw me, the smiles on everyone's faces stopped. Then, Zhao's parents, who had always been indifferent to me, greeted me with a rare gentleness. "Have you had dinner yet?" Claire Jiang even gave me a box of fruit. "I saw one on my trip, and felt that it was suitable for you." I quickly recognized that this Thai clip had appeared on social media. At that time, Shan Xiao had just said a word, "I like it." Claire Jiang had packed the entire Thai clip collection of the accessory store. This was the only one that he didn't want. "What's wrong? Don't you like it?" Shan Xiao asked with a half-smile. The sense of superiority in his eyes was almost undisguised. Claire Jiang's eyes were cold. "You're being picky. I remember you liking anything I gave you before." "That's right, I used to treasure anything she gave me, but it was only because I liked the person who gave me the gift. But now, don't even mention something that others don't want. Even if she picked stars from the sky and gifted them to me in front of my face, I still wouldn't like it." Very good, I was too lazy to say more, casually putting the Thai clip away, only thinking about the upcoming filming. Seeing how calm I was, Shan Xiao was surprised. "There have been trending topics about us for so long, you should have seen them all, but you're not angry?" The anger wasn't causing pain, as if I no longer cared. Claire Jiang also noticed this point, and a knot suddenly tightened in her heart. She always felt something was off. She was just about to open her mouth to ask when Shan Xiao tugged at her sleeve, even winking suggestively. Only then did Claire Jiang remember what was really going on today. She looked towards me. "Ethan, Sean really likes the short film you're preparing recently. Give it to him this time, okay?" I looked at her in disbelief. I could endure Claire Jiang forcing me to give up the resources before, but this time, it was a script I wrote myself, a team I built myself. Did Shan Xiao want to steal even this? Seeing that I didn't agree happily, Zhao's parents put food on my plate as if bestowing a gift. Just agree to such a small matter. Don't compete with your brother over everything. Sean has suffered a lot. Now that he wants something, it's normal for us, as family, to help him achieve it. Only then did I understand. It turned out that when people were truly speechless, they would laugh. I smiled sarcastically. The suffering Shan Xiao endured wasn't caused by me. To the creator, the script was like a child. I wouldn't give it up. Shan Xiao lowered his eyes and sighed. "I know my brother doesn't like me. Maybe I shouldn't have come back." He pretended to want to leave, but Claire Jiang grabbed his hand. Her eyes were like ice, looking at me coldly. "Sean showed this script to people in the industry, and it has a lot of potential, so it must be given to him. You're an artist of the company, you must obey the arrangements. Otherwise, I have the right to blacklist you." "Fine, then just blacklist me." Seeing that I wasn't yielding, Zhao's parents became even more anxious. "Claire, don't be so polite with this damn kid. We're his parents, we know what he's afraid of. We'll handle this." "That's right, just watch, he'll be crying and begging for Sean to take the script any minute now." Mom Xiao started ordering the servants, "Go outside and catch some cockroaches, the more the better. And also mice, they must be caught alive." "I'm most afraid of these things," Dad Xiao added. I shuddered. Some lost memories suddenly flooded back. In the past, as long as the original owner of this body was a little disobedient, Zhao's parents would constantly beat and scold him, then catch all kinds of disgusting creatures and stuff them into his mouth. After being tortured and trained for so long, the original owner became extremely obedient. It was hard to imagine that there could be such biased and cruel parents in the world. The servants were very embarrassed. The house was very clean, these things couldn't be found right away. Claire Jiang actively responded, then go outside to find them. No matter how troublesome it is, you must find them. A hint of joy and malice flashed in Shan Zhao's eyes. He moved closer to Claire Jiang. Claire, you're so good to me. The people in front of me seem to be united against a common enemy, united in their hearts. I suddenly realized it wasn't necessary. This script was originally adapted from my and Claire Jiang's experience. Now, I could no longer deceive myself. Even though Claire Jiang's affection for me was 99 points, I was ultimately just a substitute. It wasn't worth it. This wasn't a love story between me and Claire Jiang that had ended a long time ago. The script was ruined, it wasn't worth it for me to fight alone in this world. Instead of enduring all the bitterness, being forced and submitting, why not just give up now? I agree. I give in. Everyone should have been happy, but Shan Xiao was still dissatisfied. Ethan, you just said the script was your child, but now you're easily giving it up. Don't tell me you have some bad intentions. Claire Jiang also warned, whatever you're thinking, you better say it. Don't do anything unscrupulous. It was truly excessive. However, the thought of the divorce agreement that hadn't been signed yet flashed through my mind. I certainly have conditions. If you want my hard work, then exchange it for something else. I listed a series of items, houses, shops, asking Claire Jiang, you care so much about my good brother. You wouldn't be stingy using these assets to exchange for a script he likes, right? One sentence successfully stopped Claire Jiang's hesitation. Of course I wouldn't be stingy. What can be solved with money isn't a problem. Claire Jiang made a phone call. Very quickly, the secretary brought a stack of transfer agreements. I took them, clipping the divorce agreement in the middle. Seeing Claire Jiang about to sign, Shan Zhao's heart seemed to bleed. Claire, it's not worth spending so much money for a script. He assessed the script, but this was merely an excuse since he was simply accustomed to stealing my things. Who knew that Claire Jiang would transfer assets worth hundreds of millions without batting an eye? If he had known the price was so high, he wouldn't have stolen it. Claire Jiang misunderstood. Silly, of course it's worth it, as long as Sean is happy. She signed each agreement just like that. As she was about to sign the divorce agreement, my heart tightened slightly. Just at this moment, Claire Jiang raised her head and saw my nervous expression. That strange feeling appeared again, even causing her to worry for no reason, as if she would lose something after signing. She flipped back a page, subconsciously wanting to check the contents. I don't want any trouble, it's not that you can't bear to give it up, is it not? It is just saying that my brother is that precious. Don't use provocative tactics as everything is effective to you. Claire Jiang gave up trying to find out anything, continuing to sign her name. It was just that her eyes held a hint of ridicule. Ethan Xiao, I thought you were so ambitious, unexpectedly you're only like this. This greedy appearance is truly disgusting. After she finished speaking, she signed the last agreement, but I didn't respond at all. I took the agreement upstairs. I was completely calm. Claire Jiang's heart inexplicably tightened. She felt that I was hiding something from her, about to chase after me and ask, but Shan Xiao grabbed her hand. His fingertips even lightly scratched her palm. Thank you, Claire. I felt that he was making you sick. Let's go out to eat, okay? Zhao's parents immediately understood, saying, the problem has been solved. We should go too. You two should enjoy your private time. Shan Xiao didn't hesitate to grab Claire Jiang's hand and walked out. He secretly resolved that tonight he must claim Claire Jiang. He must have a substantial relationship, preferably have a child. That way, Claire Jiang wouldn't refuse him anymore. Afterwards, he would marry her. In the following days, Claire Jiang was busy accompanying Shan Xiao to film the short film. I was also living very completely. First, I sent the divorce agreement to the Civil Affairs Bureau, successfully obtaining the divorce certificate, then converted the real estate shops into cash and established the Ton Viet Charity Fund, just treating it as making a small contribution and accumulating some merit. In my original world, I had a pair of very loving parents. Unfortunately, during a physical examination, I discovered that I had an incurable terminal illness. In a fit of emotion, I ran out, resulting in a car accident that left me with amputated legs. My parents cried themselves out, quickly becoming haggard and aging. Therefore, when the system approached me, I immediately agreed. If I succeeded in my goal, my wish was to return to my original world with a healthy body. Unfortunately, there was always one point missing. Thinking about returning to face my disabled body and the limited time I had left, I put on sunglasses and a mask and started going around, looking at the days when I could run and jump like this. It was especially precious to me. Just like that, the time came to the last day before leaving. I had originally planned to go sailing to see the seagulls, but I received a phone call from Claire Jeong's assistant. Assistant Tran said, "Claire Jeong wants me to come and attend a banquet to discuss a new movie and a new role." I knew you were about to leave, then what new role would have any meaning now, so I turned down the request without any hesitation. Assistant Tran said in difficulty. Director Jeong said, "Courtesy before soldiers. If you don't agree, I can only." I smiled bitterly, recalling the scene of being forced to transfer the script, also recalling the first time I met Claire Jeong, which was also at a banquet. Starting from where, and there as well, is also considered to have a beginning and an end. I pushed the door open to the private room. Inside, there was only Sean Xiao. "Ethan Xiao, how long are you going to cling to Claire? The person she likes is me, you know? Last night, we switched how many positions?" Noticing the topic turning indecent, I interrupted him coldly. "Did you deliberately invite me here to say this?" "Actually, it's unnecessary, because after tonight, I'll be leaving." "Of course, not only that." Sean Xiao laughed coldly again, the malice in his eyes like a snake's tongue, so gloomy and cold. "I think people still have to rely on themselves. Instead of waiting for you to give up your seat, it's better to drive you away myself. It's a bit safer." A muscular man with a very large stature, suddenly locking Sean Xiao's arms. The man's movements are very light, so it made Sean Xiao cry out in misery. "Don't hit me. I won't compete with you anymore, okay? I'll keep my feelings for Claire to myself. Don't let people hit me anymore." Just at that moment, the door was pushed open forcefully. Claire Jeong, with red eyes, rushed in. "Let him go." As soon as he saw Claire Jeong, the man who dominated the business world, the man quickly let go. "Claire, it's lucky you came to save me. When Ethan invited me out to eat, I was very happy. Unexpectedly he hated me so much." I unconsciously explained. Assistant Tran informed me to come to a banquet. Assistant Tran's face was full of surprise. "I didn't. I only followed orders from Director Jeong. I wouldn't do anything she didn't tell me to do." The temperature in Claire Jeong's eyes dropped to freezing point. She didn't need to verify anything, looking at me with hatred. "You can't stand Sean, huh? I've warned you. If you continue to harass Sean, I won't spare you." She coldly ordered the vulgar man, "Whatever you were planning to do just now, do it to him." The atmosphere was like ice. I only felt cold to the bone. Claire Jeong looked at me as if looking at an ant. "The last time you knocked Sean down, you still haven't apologized. You're an artist of the company. You must follow my directions." Sean Xiao concealed the look of triumph on his face and spoke leisurely. "You must kneel down to apologize to show your sincerity," so I pursed my lips. Claire Jeong indifferently looked at my awkward appearance, then coldly opened her red lips. "But apologizing is apologizing, punishing is punishing. Harassing Sean must be paid for." According to her instructions, Assistant Tran whispered a few words to the man. The man nodded obsequiously. "Rest assured, I will definitely do it." My heart sank. As the door closed, I saw Claire Jeong leaving without turning her head, saw Sean Zhao's triumphant smile. My dead heart was drowned in despair. Clearly, in just 2 hours, I would disappear from this world. Why not spare me? The man punched and kicked me, even slapping my face hard. I was beaten until I was dizzy. The taste of bloody flesh exploded in my throat. I could only continuously call for help from the system. Master, I just asked for instructions from the higher-ups. Due to the urgent situation, they have opened a special channel for the master. As long as this body dies, you can leave early. I looked at the open window, bursting out and calmly. As my back touched the window frame, I leaned back in a miserable and resolute manner. My whole body fell out of the window from the 23rd floor. Falling from such a height would be very painful. Clearly, I was very afraid, but there was still a trace of peace in my heart. No matter how painful it was, it wouldn't be as painful as the injuries Claire Jiang caused. Fortunately, everything would finally end. During the process of falling, the wind whistled past my ears. Tonight's night sky, the stars were especially bright. I recalled the day Claire Jiang proposed. She hugged my arm, saying I was the most precious gem in her life. It was all a lie. From now on, they were people of two different worlds, no longer related. The moment I was about to hit the ground, I seemed to hear Claire Jiang's heart-wrenching cry, also seeming to hear the system calling out, Claire Jiang's affection has increased to 100 points. Goal has been reached. No way. I knew it was just an illusion. With a boom, a collision, the starlight disappeared. I closed my eyes, welcoming the darkness and a new life. Claire Jiang embraced Shan Shao, leaving soothing him all the way, although she was clearly expressing words of concern. The indifference and perfunctoriness in her eyes, however, were all too clear, so clear that Shan Shao even squeezed his left palm. Her heart was sinking down along with the elevator. Claire, it hurts so much. As soon as Claire Jiang heard, she helped him and went out to the entrance of the hotel, not entering the car's back seat, and Shan Shao kept on pressing his face against her neck and shoulders while deliberately breathing out his breath ambiguously. Although he tried so hard to seduce her, Claire Jiang, however, was still unmoved since she spoke in a cold voice. Assistant Tran, come forth. Assistant Tran was seated at the driver's seat as he instantly activated the surveillance camera inside his phone upon hearing the order from her and respectfully handed it over. This is the private room's surveillance camera at the moment that man is beating me up. Shan Shao was feeling refreshed and satisfied inside, but faked as if he could not bear to look, and even begged, or pleaded by saying, let's not go through it. Even though Ethan has treated me this way, however, I have not really sustained any injuries. Claire Jiang, who was on the contrary, had a completely serene expression or appearance without any kind of emotions inside her eyes, where the expression and feelings could not be read. It cannot amount that I am measuring his action beforehand. Before leaving, she ordered Assistant Tran to relay a message to that person. I will just scare you a little, but I will not touch you. I hope and expect that this is only a small punishment for you. In the meantime, that cannot be too jealous. In the process of seeing her resolute and decisive, Claire Jiang suddenly felt amused inside. According to his understandings and knowledge of Claire Jiang, she may have most likely told that man to pretend to scare Ethan Shao, but she was unaware that the man had a chronic temper disorder. It would just be a matter of time before he completely lost his mind. The man's attack became harder and harder, and the face was all swelled. In Claire Jiang's eyes came a little of worry that felt strange, and also what was really happening. However, there was something there that she had control over and was hesitant to take away as soon as possible. Shan Shao immediately pulled her in, feeling really gratified, so that he might be able to see Claire to be a great help. Claire, you have to pay your price. As soon as Claire Jiang had put her hands on the car's door and as a result released her hand on what was happening next, was that if this were the reason why she would continue to seek revenge and even the people she had wanted there, if there would be a time, there would be moments that was to happen. The most was the thing that was really going in. If it was just a dream, then so be it, for all the harm as the car's engine was on. But what was for Shan Shao and his expression? Was it because this was his time? Did he just have to endure all of the injuries? If so, then he could get away with it for a while. Claire had the right to seek her actions as she tried hard on what was best for her. Shan, who knew that the action would be at least The man whom he loved had the strength. All of the power with the greatest and most power in all. Claire took a moment as the scene faded with her. It was a big thing, just a waste. Oh well. That is the life. It is really the world to be a mess. As they are all in their most perfect and all, were the words. Claire had to find out just what was next. Whether it was an illusion or not, she didn't care. She only exerted all her strength, flinging her arms wide and shouting loudly as she ran frantically towards me. There were still so many words she hadn't had time to say to me, the feelings she had just confirmed, the reason why she had been cold to me before. She wanted to tell me everything. She had given up. She didn't want to test me anymore. She wanted to offer me all her sincere feelings, without holding back. But it was still one step too late. Boom. She watched in horror as I fell in front of her, only a step away. At this moment, her heart was like a frozen lake being shattered, broken into countless pieces. And I, falling from such a height, was truly mangled in front of her. Passers-by gathered one after another, some screaming, some vomiting, some calling the police. Claire Jiang ignored everything around her. At this moment, she couldn't hear anything, couldn't see anything. In her eyes, there was only my bloodied corpse. Claire Jiang didn't care at all, lying down next to my body. She reached out and gently took my shattered hand. Look, the stars are so bright tonight. Let's watch them together, okay? Ethan, do you remember? I once told you that you were the most precious star in my life. Everything I said was from the bottom of my heart. Claire Jiang completely changed her usual cold demeanor, rambling on and on. More and more people gathered around. The person who jumped off the building seems to be the blacklisted actor, Ethan Shao. The woman beside him is Director Jiang from his company. Didn't they say Ethan Shao was Director Jiang's boy toy, that Director Jiang hated him? But I think she seems to love him very much, and his death has made her mentally unstable. Oh my God, look at the person coming over there. Isn't that Shan Shao? He seems to be with Director Jiang. I've been following their drama on social media for a long time. Your world is so complicated. It's all over since you're dead. Don't talk anymore. Wait for the police to come. Shan Shao trembled as he walked closer. At first, when he saw me jumping off the building, his eyes were full of excitement. He only wanted to teach me a lesson. Who knew that now the person was gone, completely unable to compete with him anymore? But Claire Jiang's reaction was too terrifying. At this moment, I was nearly mangled beyond recognition, unbearably horrifying. But Claire Jiang didn't care at all, just lying there beside me, letting the blood and yellowish-white goo get all over her. She was still holding my hand, talking, even kissing my face. Shan Shao didn't understand. He was just a substitute. Why was Claire Jiang so agitated? Claire, no matter how Shan Shao called, Claire Jiang seemed not to hear, only talking to me. Very quickly, the police arrived, doing a basic investigation and taking away that vulgar man. Shan Shao and Assistant Tran exchanged glances. The latter quietly made an okay gesture. Shan Shao was no longer worried. Assistant Tran was on his side, naturally, he would handle everything well. Afterwards, he wouldn't be charged. Assistant Tran. Claire Jiang suddenly stood up. Seeing her expression gradually return to normal, Shan Shao breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that my weight wasn't that great. Just now, she was only panicked. It would be that kind of reaction again. But Claire Jiang's next words made him feel like he had fallen into an ice cellar. Ethan is asleep. Help me lift him up, take him home. Be gentle, don't let him shatter. Ethan's face is dirty. Find a makeup artist to help him. I want him to be as handsome as before. Then make a nice bed. Ethan needs to sleep well. Assistant Tran was stunned for a moment. Hurry up. Yes, Director Jiang. After giving her instructions, Claire Jiang gently sat down. Ethan, wait a little longer. We'll go home soon. Her Ethan was angry, so he wasn't paying attention to her. But she was cold to me because Shan Xiao had his difficulties. Tonight, she would tell me everything. After knowing the truth, her Ethan would definitely forgive her. After a flurry of activity, Claire Jiang finally brought me home. Director Jiang, I've inquired. The ice bed isn't airtight. Only the type we're using now can keep Ethan by your side. Assistant Tran carefully said, afraid of irritating Claire Jiang, especially avoiding mentioning the word ice coffin. To keep Ethan by my side? Good, very good. Fortunately, Claire Jiang didn't notice, instead rarely praising him. Assistant Tran breathed a sigh of relief, only now realizing that he was covered in sweat. Now, the ice coffin was placed in the living room, the temperature extremely low. One hot, one cold. He used himself as an excuse. Well, Director Jiang, if you need anything, just call me. Assistant Tran carefully retreated, walking out of the villa. He saw Shan Xiao about to enter. Hey, have you thought about what the consequences would be if Director Jiang found out we colluded to indirectly kill Ethan Xiao? Before, Assistant Tran also thought Claire Jiang only saw me as a substitute. So, for the sake of career development, when Shan Xiao returned, he didn't hesitate to side with Shan. It was just that today, Claire Jiang's reaction was unexpected, making him a little worried. Shan Xiao furrowed his brows, interrupting. Don't worry. You just need to make sure that man doesn't confess. Claire is just agitated right now. Wait for me to be by her side, she'll forget that substitute. Then that's good. I'll have to rely on you in the future, Shan. Shan Xiao arrogantly nodded. He walked in, feeling emotional. He and Claire Jiang were university classmates. At that time, she was a proud young lady, and he was a god who looked down on wealth and power. Everyone fawned over him, but he didn't give them a good look, didn't humor them. It was this different attitude that attracted Claire Jiang's attention, even starting to pursue him. After many pursuits, Shan Xiao reluctantly agreed. Because the Jiang family was a wealthy family, while Shan Xiao came from a very ordinary family, their relationship was opposed by the Jiang family. Claire Jiang was willing to sever ties with her family, saying she wanted to move out and live with him. Shan, don't worry. No matter how hard or difficult it is, I'll be by your side. We'll drink water and still feel full because of love. Shan Xiao looked at the small apartment Claire Jiang wanted to rent, almost rolling his eyes. He didn't want to live that kind of life. At that time, it just so happened that a wealthy woman was pursuing him, inviting him to go abroad together. On one side was a difficult life, on the other was a broad world, romance, and beauty. He didn't hesitate to choose the latter. Who knew that Shan Xiao hadn't been abroad long before Claire Jiang, disappointed, returned to the Jiang family and started taking over the family business. Shan Xiao wanted to go back to find her then, but he was held back by the wealthy woman. It wasn't until years later that the wealthy woman was completely tired of him that he finally got to return to the country. At first, he was very worried that Claire Jiang had forgotten him. After all, with her family background, she could easily get anything, let alone a man. Zhao's parents bragged to him, Claire still hasn't forgotten you. Shan, when you went abroad, we, as your parents, felt that to be safe, we should let Claire have a backup. At that time, she was very sad because of you, drinking all day long. We told her that you had a younger brother, although he wasn't as good as you in everything, at least he looked a bit like you. His personality was also weak, easy to control, very suitable as a substitute to relieve her boredom. Rest assured, Shan, Claire can't possibly forget you. The only thing that's a little troublesome is that Claire has married him, but this also proves that she loves you very deeply. She clung to your substitute and wouldn't let go. Hurry back. Shan Xiao obediently listened, his heart full of joy. After he returned to the country, Claire Jiang not only didn't blame him for leaving without a word, but also treated him better than before. Perhaps this was precisely because she had lost him before, so she knew to cherish him more. But very quickly, Shan Xiao felt something was wrong. Claire Jiang only loved him on the surface, but there was no real progress with him, even unwilling to marry him. Shan Xiao had also suspected whether she had fallen for me, but quickly rejected that. When he and I had conflicts, Claire Jiang always protected him. She had truly never stood on my side. So, she probably only cared that he had left without a word. Now that she had only lost a substitute, Claire Jiang had lost her composure like this. Shan Xiao knew this was an opportunity to force her to see her feelings clearly and accept him back. Thinking this, Shan Xiao confidently walked into the living room. Because an ice coffin had to be placed, the temperature had dropped below 0 degrees. Shan Xiao was so cold that he hugged his arms, goosebumps breaking out all over his body. But Claire Jiang was only wearing a dress, seemingly unaware of the cold. She just silently sat opposite the ice coffin, not saying a word, looking at the person inside, her eyes full of sorrow and tenderness that couldn't be resolved. Claire, no one wanted this kind of accident to happen, but you have to be strong. If you're like this, you'll get cold, and it'll make the people who care about you worry. For example, me. At first, Claire Jiang was still indifferent, then forced out a smile. I know. Ethan loves me, and I love him too. I'm just with him for the last few days. Don't disturb. Shan Xiao was stunned, then sat down beside her, reaching out to hug her. Claire, don't be mad at me anymore, okay? The person you love is clearly me, but I gave up before. It was my fault for not recognizing your goodness, but now I'm back. I'll cherish you this time. Let's really be together again, okay? Ethan Xiao is already dead. Don't leave him in the living room like this. Take care of his funeral. His mission as a substitute has been completed. Claire Jiang, who had been indifferent, forcefully pushed Shan Xiao away. Enough. Ethan isn't a substitute. He's my husband, the person I love the most. It's not your place to interfere in things between me and him. You're not welcome here. Get out. Shan Xiao painfully hugged his arm, but Claire Jiang, who usually asked with concern when he was even slightly uncomfortable, didn't even give him a look. Shan Xiao had to stand up himself, full of anger. Claire, can you stop torturing me? How can you love him? Because of me, you stopped all of his schedules, gave his roles to me. As long as he bullied me, you would punish him severely. Even because of me, you used assets worth hundreds of millions to buy a script for him. You've done so much for me. Between him and me, you always chose me. Now you're telling me you like him? Don't you find it ridiculous, Claire? Can you wake up? Can you acknowledge your heart? We love each other. The more Shan Xiao spoke, the more agitated he became, not caring about anything anymore, rushing over and trying to kiss Claire Jiang's lips. But Claire Jiang's eyes were full of disgust, raising her hand and slapping him. In front of Ethan, you were so eager to do such a shameless thing? The thing I regret most is letting Ethan misunderstand that I don't love him. Shan Xiao was stunned by the slap, reaching out to touch his mouth and even touching blood at the corner of his lips, but the person who slapped him didn't have a trace of regret, didn't even look at him, only gently walking towards the ice coffin. Ethan, do you know? Actually, I unintentionally fell in love with you a long time ago, and how could I not feel your love for me? It's just that when Shan Xiao left me that year, it was a very big blow to me. You were brought to my side in that way. I was worried that your love for me wasn't pure, worried that you had other intentions, so I never dared to open my heart. After Shan Xiao returned, I was really happy, because I could finally return the injuries from that year to him. I've always been a very proud person. I once offered my heart to Shan Xiao, even not hesitating to go against my family, but he didn't even have the courage to endure hardship with me. The day he left, I felt a deep betrayal, also causing a thorn to always be in my heart, even feeling that I was sick, no longer capable of loving someone. Therefore, after he returned to the country, I used every means to treat him well, just to push him to the highest point, then trample him under my feet, so that he could understand what it was like to lose everything. Only then could I truly let go. When you just arrived, I didn't lower my guard against you, so I thought, why not pretend to be good to Shan Xiao while taking the opportunity to test your love for me? If you truly loved me, you wouldn't leave me because of my coldness, my favoritism. The reason I punished you wasn't because you hurt Shan Xiao, but because I didn't like the trait of jealousy in you. I only wanted you to be more perfect, to become better. When I saw you falling, I knew how much I loved you, and knew that I couldn't have left you. If I had known, I wouldn't have been so harsh with you. As long as you're happy, you can vent your anger on Shan Xiao however you want. I was wrong, Ethan. Can you forgive me? Can you open your eyes? Can you look at me, tell me you love me yourself? Claire Jiang spoke with emotion, finally almost bursting into tears, hot tears rolling from her eyes. And Shan Xiao listened, stunned, his heart completely frozen. Claire Jiang had spoken very clearly. It turned out that she no longer loved him, only revenge remained. It turned out that she had fallen for me. Had been too used to my parents' favoritism of stamping me underneath her. Shan, in addition to the jealousy, felt humiliated, but he was not too willing in his heart, since if he could force Claire to stop hating him, how could there be any love at all as long as Shan's heart wasn't broken? There would be hope in the wind. Shan thought of ways. Don't be mad at yourself, maybe let us get out now, he had said, but she only ignored him. Are you hurt, but do you want to be happy like the rest? She was a bit quiet and told him if that made him want it, but Shan wasn't listening, then made the person be killed. It was all just some kind of love thing. No real feelings for the rest. Shan was angry as a door slammed shut in his face as he ran outside. Why couldn't he make her see reason after all she had done for him? If there was a way to go through what he was feeling now, he had to face it and had a decision to be made, or was it meant to be all the ways? Because of the need to place the ice-cold weather to get through, as if that wasn't hard enough to do. Because, you know that you care about her so much, Shan then just thought about how to get this over with. Everything, it was never done this way. In this day and age, it was weird what happens in people's hearts. Shan didn't know, now and ever to know what was truly meant by her, now it was all wrong. Claire could hear a sound in her head as she heard this, as she remembered what was there to look forward to. You should get changed, since the weather isn't like before. I have to make an offer to a man who did not make things easy and that I do not know why. It was cold as everyone was wondering if the two could do that. You had better just give the clothes. She did have to wear all the thick to find as she got. After Shan left, what would make that be so? It did need something to look forward to at the moment, that all she can think about right now. She didn't care about what Shan did. She said, do not wait for the rest, I have things to take care of. What would have been right after her and the way she was never with? What was the best thing and not the last one? Claire couldn't sleep after not sleeping for so long. There were many words in the next coming year. I had promised, as she said, was what had happened and not the things as how it should all be. As usual. But the person inside would never have any of that with her. Claire had a hard time with that, to be clear. The right thing, I was hoping all this time. But was never meant to be. The way he could not be with her, that was. As Claire called for him one more time. This was what she had to face. The morning came so fast. As the media took what they could. Was why not? As she told the news and the story of her life out in a new way. This was it. The end. With love or the end? Now one would ever know. The end or the rest? Transitioning to repentance, Claire Jiang said, Ethan, although I gave your resources to Shan Xiao before, I've thought about it. After everything is over, I'll use even more resources to compensate you. I never intended to actually hurt you. When his parents said to make you eat insects, I only pretended to agree, just wanting to scare you. Also, you suggested using real estate shops to exchange for the script. I agreed so quickly, not because of Shan Xiao at all, but because you could have whatever you wanted. You always thought I was cold to you, even not letting you touch my phone. But actually, I changed my phone password to your birthday a long time ago. Ethan, I was really wrong. Can you open your eyes? Please. Claire Jiang's emotions were completely out of control. She cried uncontrollably, using her hands to push the ice coffin. If you don't want to wake up, then I'll come to your side. In short, we can't be apart. Director Jiang. A servant came in carrying a package. Get out. Don't bother me. Claire Jiang, like a small animal about to collapse, her face covered in tears, screamed. There's a document for Mr. The next second, Claire Jiang ran over, snatching the document. It was a document from the Household Registration Bureau. Claire Jiang directly opened it. Inside was a receipt. After clearly seeing the contents, Claire Jiang paused in shock. The receipt wrote that my application to cancel my household registration had taken effect. The signing date was yesterday, the day I jumped off the building. Claire Jiang was immediately enraged, calling the Household Registration Bureau. You've made a mistake. Ethan Xiao is my husband, the husband of the CEO of Jiang Corporation. How could he cancel his household registration? The staff on the other end said, please provide your ID card number to confirm that you and Mr. Ethan Xiao are husband and wife. We can provide you with the transaction number for this procedure. A moment later, after entering the ID card number that Claire Jiang provided, the staff on the other end expressed their apologies. Ms. Jiang, according to the system, you divorced Mr. Xiao 2 weeks ago. Currently, you and he have no relationship. Sorry, we cannot accept your inquiry request. Claire Jiang directly laughed angrily. Is there some mistake? How could Ethan and I be divorced? We just went public. We're very affectionate. We'll be together for life. You wouldn't understand anyway. After hanging up, Claire Jiang's anger still hadn't subsided. She had the assistant go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get the marriage certificate of the two, wanting to take the certificate to the Household Registration Bureau to clarify. They arbitrarily cancelled my husband's household registration. That's really unreasonable. This must be a mistake in their work. But very quickly, the assistant brought back news like a thunderbolt from a clear sky. Director Jiang, I went to check the records. It shows that Mr. Xiao is indeed divorced. The assistant also brought back a copy of the divorce agreement. The signature on it couldn't be faked. It was indeed her signature. Claire Jiang looked at it in shock for a long time, suddenly remembering that day, she had asked me to give the script I wrote myself to Shan Xiao. I proposed exchanging it for a series of assets. So, she signed many transfer agreements. Thinking about my suddenly tense expression at that time, Claire Jiang could almost confirm that I had mixed the divorce agreement in among those papers. I had been in despair since then. Claire Jiang rummaged through the house, quickly finding the marriage certificate. There were 2 green ones, making her uncomfortable. What made her even more uncomfortable was that I didn't take either. Claire Jiang was almost drowned in deep regret. If she had known it would hurt me so much, she definitely wouldn't have done it. Claire Jiang's expression was extremely ugly. She truly couldn't understand. Even if I wanted a divorce, why would I cancel my household registration? Once a person cancelled their household registration, there would be no proof of my identity in this world anymore. I had clearly requested so many things. If I cancelled my household registration, those assets would no longer belong to me. Wait. Claire Jiang suddenly remembered. She tremblingly had the assistant go check. Very quickly, the results were in. Those valuable items, along with the assets that I had requested from her before, had all been donated to charity organizations. I didn't take anything. Claire Jiang felt that there was something more and more wrong. Everything I did was as if I had planned it beforehand. I had accumulated enough disappointment, had long ago decided that I didn't want anything and wanted to disappear from this world. Claire Jiang hugged her head, as if a truth was emerging from the other side of the fog. She racked her brains, finally remembering a detail. When I jumped off the building, disregarding everything, she spread her arms and ran frantically towards me. Beside her, a slightly mechanical voice seemed to sound, saying words like affection level, force value 100%, and similar words. Following this clue, Claire Jiang researched many materials, gradually having a hypothesis that seemed unbelievable but might be close to the truth. I seemed to have connected to a male conquest system. It was that system that helped me leave. Claire Jiang had a moment of collapse, her heart breaking because of herself. Perhaps I was just a mission of hers. But immediately afterwards, she felt a glimmer of hope. If her hypothesis was correct, that meant that I had only gone to another world. I was still alive. As long as I was still alive, they still had the possibility of meeting again. The love that had been forcibly suspended would one day be started again. Claire Jiang regained her spirits and made two decisions. One was to preserve the body well in the ice coffin, because she wasn't sure whether wanting me to return would require going through this body. Two was to spend a large sum of money to establish a research institute, collecting talented people to research the system. She knew that doing so, the hope might be very slim, but as long as there was a little hope, she would persevere. Because she still had many things she wanted to say to me. She had to meet me again, to have me return to her side once more. The moment I hit the ground, I lost consciousness. When I opened my eyes again, my hand felt a soft sensation, bringing a comfortable temperature. It was Zhao's mom holding my hand, and Zhao's dad was holding a report, sitting beside me. So happy. Ethan's health check report is out. Our precious son is extremely healthy. I was slightly stunned. The memories of my previous life flashed back clearly. At that time, this report showed that I had a terminal illness. Sorrow immediately enveloped the whole family. First, I couldn't bear the shock myself, running out and getting into a car accident, losing my legs. Mom cried every day. She didn't believe in gods and Buddhas, but knelt every day, asking the gods for a miracle. Dad even spent a large sum of money to find the best experts in the world, asking them to cure me. With such a big career, he no longer had the mind to manage it, only wanting to be by the side of his beloved son. They quickly became haggard and aged. This was also the reason why I didn't hesitate to agree with the system to do the mission. I had to complete the mission to regain my health, not only for myself, but also for my loving and beloved family. But the system clearly said that only when the goal was successfully conquered could the wish be fulfilled. Could it be that the final notification was true? That's right, Master. Right before the Master left that world, the affection level of the target, Claire Jiang, reached 100%. Therefore, the Master's wish has been fulfilled. Currently, she is very regretful, immediately announcing her relationship with the Master and trying to make up for it in every way. If the Master wants, you can still go back. Because of the difference in time speed, even if you spend a few decades over there, it would only be a few minutes here. Previously, the Master's greatest wish was for the two of you to be able to love each other. Does the Master want to go back? I was slightly stunned, then smiled. But that smile, no matter how you looked at it, wasn't happy, but had a hint of sarcasm. When I was alive, Claire Jiang didn't cherish me. Waiting until I died to regret and make up for it, what was the point? There's no need. I just want to stay by my family's side. Master doesn't want to leave your family. Then we can bring Claire Jiang over here. The Master has completed the mission. The Master has this right. Claire Jiang has already guessed a bit that the Master has gone to another world, and is constantly researching ways to contact the Master, believing that she won't refuse to come here. She has done too many outrageous things to the Master. Why not let her come here to repent and make up for it? The Master can also vent a bit of anger. But I refused. For me, that was already the past. Don't talk to me about her anymore. Seeing my determined attitude, the system expressed its respect. Okay, Master. Our cooperation has ended perfectly. Afterwards, if there are no special circumstances, I won't bother you anymore. I wish the Master a happy life. Goodbye. Contact with the system ended. I regained my senses but discovered that my parents were looking at me blankly. Clearly, I was their son, but why, in just a few seconds, had my aura changed so much, as if I had experienced much pain, endured much torment? Just having this thought made Zhao's parents feel extremely heartbroken. Seeing their loving eyes, I suddenly felt a lump in my throat. This pure concern and love for me had truly been too long. Without hiding anything, I told my parents what I had experienced. Then, I was immediately pulled into the middle of two warm arms. My Ethan, you've suffered so much. Mom is so heartbroken. System, why didn't you come to us? That's right. Let your mom and dad work together, dad powering mom, mom powering our son, me powering our son. Wouldn't that be twice the success? And we could fulfill another wish. Yes, yes, yes. One wish is of course to make our Ethan healthy. The remaining wish is to make Ethan happy forever. Zhao's parents said back and forth. I was originally a little sad, but couldn't help but laugh. My parents were both very outgoing, their personalities even a little bouncy. So, I had always been very happy and bright. Those 5 years of transmigration were like having a dark cloud covering my head, causing me to lose myself. But fortunately, it was all over. Now, the clouds have been parted to reveal the sun. All the days to come will be beautiful sunny days. Our Ethan is truly blessed by heaven, turning danger into safety. Then we must do a lot of charity, right? First, donate 200 million. What do you think, my wife? I agree. The auction is in 2 days. Let's just buy everything to make Ethan less scared. Zhao's parents held my hand tightly, discussing excitedly. The two of them had started from scratch to build the current Xiao family business, which was very large. The things they just mentioned didn't cost them any effort. In the following days, the two were always by my side. Under the nourishment of love, I gradually regained myself, having the strength to start again, embarking on writing scripts. This was what I wanted to do in the previous world but hadn't finished. Very quickly, I completed my first script in this world, a topic with elements of redemption and rebirth. Then came building a team, selecting actors, proceeding with filming and other steps. Ethan likes which actor? Just say it, Dad will bring them over. Zhao's dad guaranteed. I chuckled. Dad, actors with real strength value their reputation. It's not something that can be persuaded with just money. Moreover, I also want to do the things I like myself. Dad, let me try it. If there's any problem, I'll definitely find Dad. I laughed and agreed. I had made a preliminary list, selecting actors with strength, but whose current fame wasn't too great. That way, the possibility of successful negotiations would be higher. My first destination was going to the entertainment company by appointment to talk to the female lead candidate in my mind and her manager about the script. I pushed open the door to the meeting room but unexpectedly discovered that sitting inside was Ive, the top actress of the entertainment company. I instinctively thought I had mistaken the meeting room, said an apology, and prepared to leave. But Ive stood up, walking towards me. Her pale, slender fingertips were holding precisely the script I wrote. I heard that scriptwriter Bing is selecting a female lead. I really like this role. Can I recommend myself? I looked at her with surprise and joy. She had a naturally beautiful face, perfect features, carrying a hint of coldness, but in her eyes containing a smile, showing a part of gentleness. Without considering any factors, when selecting a female lead, Ive was truly a suitable candidate. Because I wanted to rely on myself, step by step, I hadn't initially included such a big star in the list of candidates. But Ive took the initiative to offer. I had no reason to refuse. Welcome Mizzy to join. I happily said, let's discuss the script right away, then. Ive kindly said, of course. I'm at ease. The rumors that Ice Queenie was a beauty all seemed to be just rumors. Wasn't she very friendly? With Ive as the leading star, this small-budget web drama could be said to have gathered many stars. The short filming cycle was very short. After 3 weeks, it went online, immediately topping the charts, becoming a hot work. I also smoothly became famous, becoming a sought-after screenwriter. After becoming famous, my mentality didn't change at all. I started preparing the second script. This time, the script hadn't even been written, and actors wanting to act in my place came to recommend themselves. It was truly endless. I didn't have enough time and had to rely on the assistant. But just me going out, I still encountered many coincidental encounters. One day, I went out for a morning run. A small star with a shapely figure and captivating curves fell in front of me. Scriptwriter Xiao, what a coincidence. I sprained my ankle. Can you help me a little? Before I could open my mouth, I saw a slender figure raise her hand and pull that small star up. If you want many people to help, you can find me. Don't bother my boyfriend. Ivy said with cold eyes and a half smile. Sorry, Ms. E. I didn't know you two were. The small star blushed, her feet no longer sprained, running faster than a rabbit. Thank you for your help, Ms. E. It wasn't like you were each other's boy or girlfriends. You were just each other to help. The small smile was all she could do. It wasn't meant. Oh, I'm sorry, the girl replied, but was really scared. Once we start up, I'll let you know so the team is able to take what we got and learn. Claire's heart grew. Ivy was perfect in whatever she did and wasn't just it. You see, it makes it weird. The reason why you might want more is 'cause now you got a wedding now. What? In the next moment. They were the ones that everyone had come to, and as everyone there said, how long had this been going on? Everyone talked about what they could expect since it happened to be thereafter. But had to know. I never needed her. A small family that could do so much. What did they do? What's after? I was never the person to ask the thing, and this was it. I could only do what I should. I just had thoughts about her. Oh. You would like it after? As it all was said. I should have had her be to take her. As the house of mine was what it could not. What the time, I didn't ever do it. The fact that she and her brother were getting the most too and had never done things to do. I needed her for things, and what was what for. As she just didn't ever get to. It was never to have not her face in my head. I can never show you everything you ever wanted, I can't. I can't do anything I ever meant to say. After I start to do that, there really is nothing. The power can all fade as it has. When that all happened, it really took what could be. And they lived happily as it wasn't what it was, and nothing would ever again be. Married but couldn't go public for 5 years. It turned out that the person who truly loved you would be eager to love each other under the sun. Ivy had gradually moved me. I thought for a while and told her all my experiences in the other world. There was no reason to hide my feelings when people were so kind to me. If she minded, I also thought it was normal. But Ivy didn't mind at all, only with eyes full of pity, pitying the days I was hurt, she couldn't be by my side. Luckily, we still have a future. Can you give me this opportunity to be by your side? I smiled sincerely. Okay. I took her hand. In our careers, we were very compatible. Every short film collaboration was a hit. Our first collaboration on a movie achieved results that could be recorded in film history. It turned out that a good relationship was like this: they would support each other and grow together. At the after party for the film, I publicly proposed to Ivy, and she smiled and agreed. That day, social media was full of blessings for us. Our love, from the beginning, was upright under the bright sun, sweet and radiant. The two families were preparing for the wedding. The system, which hadn't been in touch for a long time, suddenly came. Sorry, Master. Claire Jiang has developed a way to contact you, requesting you to come back. Can you come to talk to Claire Jiang, to let her give up? My first reaction was to refuse. The name Claire Jiang was like a world away to me. I absolutely didn't want to have any contact with this person again. But the system next gave 2 reasons requesting me to return. One was that Claire Jiang's affection had reached 100% to help me fulfill my wish to become a healthy person. A cause and effect had formed between me and Claire Jiang. Even if only to repay the cause and effect, I should go back once, otherwise it might affect my life in the real world. Or the system begged me to help, because if I didn't go back, with Claire Jiang's current development speed, next she could get angry and feel shame and would be very likely to find a way to destroy the system. At that time, the system might end up dead. I didn't hide the system finding me from my parents and IVE. I thought about it, in terms of feelings and reason, I should go once again. Zhao's parents and IVE also understood the reasoning, only they were worried no matter what, they couldn't feel at ease to let me go. IVE proposed to go together. At first, the system of course didn't agree, but afterwards couldn't stand them giving too much superpower after reporting to superiors. It agreed to their request. Moreover, because they had activated a new function, the hypersphere could let all four of them bring everything in the real world to enter Claire Jiang's world together this time, they would be by my side. Claire Jiang couldn't bully their Ethan anymore. Claire, can you be a bit sane? Now, every day you only know how to spend money to research something called a system. If you continue like this, our family business can't withstand your destruction. That's right. The current family situation should still form some relationships to see if you can resolve the crisis. The Xiao family and the Yi family are still developing abroad. This time, coming back to the country for the wedding has sent invitation cards to us. Taking this opportunity, you should go form a relationship with them. Jiang's parents exhorted earnestly, placing an invitation card in front of Claire Jiang. But Claire Jiang only glanced at the invitation card indifferently. Her usually expressionless face immediately showed a hint of anger. The groom's name is Ethan Xiao? Not allowed to have the same name as my husband. Tell him to change it quickly. He doesn't deserve it. Jiang's dad was almost angered to the point of laughing. If he didn't deserve it, who did? He was the only heir of the wealthy Xiao family. If we were lucky enough to form an alliance with their family, we would laugh awake in our dreams. It's a pity you don't have that luck. But Claire Jiang stubbornly said, no one can compare to my husband. Jiang's parents were almost suffocated with anger. They were both named Xiao and had the same name, but the Xiao that Claire Jiang liked couldn't be shown off at all. In life couldn't help the Jiang family and after death again made their daughter obsessed. Even if the Jiang family was wealthy, they were about to be dragged down. Mom doesn't care what you think. In short, you have to go. Jiang's dad raised his voice, finally giving an ultimatum. If you still don't care about the Jiang family, then this old body can only come out and take control again. Think about it yourself. Jiang's mom also helplessly said, Claire, listen to your dad. We're doing this for your good. Think carefully. After using both soft and hard tactics, Jiang's parents sighed and left. Claire Jiang seemed not to hear, the invitation card even being thrown aside casually. She only thought about contacting the system. The system had said it would help her contact me. She was eagerly awaiting the results. Returning to this world, I couldn't avoid thinking about the unpleasant things in the past. Luckily, having my family and IVE by my side helped me reduce my worries a lot. I liked sports, so IVE went mountain climbing with me, standing on top of the mountain, welcoming the wind, enjoying the beautiful scenery below. And after watching the sunset, my mood was much more comfortable. I and IVE laughed as we went down the mountain. Assistant Tran, who had just finished burning incense at the hillside, had only taken a few steps when he fearfully stood frozen in place. He saw me, the person he had indirectly killed that year. He often had nightmares, dreaming that I was covered in blood, my eyes also full of blood and tears, questioning him why he had tricked me into going to the private room, why he had slandered me. He was already scared enough. Claire Jiang even placed the ice coffin at home. Every time he went to report work, he was always afraid. Therefore, Assistant Tran was superstitious, praying to gods and Buddhas, only hoping I wouldn't come to claim his life. He never thought that in his life, he could see me alive. Assistant Tran didn't dare to believe it, widening his eyes, thinking that people could be similar, he must have misseen. But the more he looked, the more he saw that it was me. He even heard the woman beside him calling me Ethan. How could there be such a coincidence? It wasn't until I and IVE left that Assistant Tran discovered his legs had gone soft. He restlessly returned home, but constantly had nightmares. After hesitating many times, he finally decided to tell Claire Jiang about this. He said he saw someone exactly like Ethan, the person beside him even calling him Ethan. Claire Jiang became excited. She suddenly thought of that invitation card. Even though the temperature in the living room was below 0 degrees, just thinking that her Ethan might have returned, her heart couldn't control itself from heating up. The wedding was in a week. The venue was at the Xiao family's villa. Claire Jiang didn't hesitate, immediately setting out. She wanted to confirm whether this was truly her Ethan. If it was him, she would definitely spare no expense to win him back, not letting him marry someone else. In the Xiao family's villa, Zhao's parents were talking excitedly. That Jiang girl dared to hurt our Ethan like that before. Don't let us see her, otherwise we must beat her up. But then again, she also indirectly helped Ethan. If it wasn't for her affection, Ethan couldn't have regained his health. Can we really hit her? Just hit her first, then talk about other things. Wanting to express our gratitude, then apologize, compensate with money, everything is okay. After all, we have to get revenge for Ethan. That makes sense. My husband, you're so smart. I and Ivy held hands, sitting on the sofa beside them, unable to help but laugh. They were used to Zhao's parents' strange thinking. It was a pity that Claire Jiang's arrival broke this warm and happy atmosphere. Claire Jiang anxiously followed the maid to enter. One eye saw me. Her eyes couldn't control themselves from turning red. She suppressed her tears, calling out with a trembling voice, "Ethan, you finally came back." Then, she saw my hand and Ivy holding each other tightly, letting out a long-held breath. Leave Ethan alone. Leave him alone. Her eyes full of jealousy and anger, Claire Jiang yelled. Zhao's parents, who were already itching to hit her, couldn't hold back any more at this moment. The two rushed up together. Dare to bully our Ethan? This slap is well deserved, and there's this slap too. Let you know your place. Claire Jiang was stunned. After understanding their identities, she didn't dodge anymore. She revealed a slightly inferior expression, even actively offering her face. Mom and Dad, it's all my fault. I've been deeply regretting these past few days. If you want to hit, then hit however you want. After you've vented your anger, then persuade Ethan to return to my side, okay? Afterwards, I'll definitely treat him 100 times better. She had offered her face up to be hit, so Zhao's parents weren't polite. They ruthlessly gave her a beating, then looked at her face swollen. That's where the in-laws are, let me tell you, said that you might be thinking before. It's not you who he married and you weren't just saying to me, with their heads up and were there as the end. Tears in her eyes as she looked around and around it all as now there will be no choice where she went to. You never cared, I loved you forever, but you had this man to leave and there will be nothing but now there, she stated. How her heart to pieces and what it could be from her. There will always to have. Now what about Sean? You said you loved and then there was never, she tried to think. She was about to have now after. And then she said. What was what with you? Ivy was still. If that's it, then just leave, she had said. And Ivy said as she grabbed my hand as now she wasn't afraid. It all seemed for the best. As her and to think about if it was going to go around with her. Then why should stay if he couldn't be true or not? Well now for what is there and then you will what? Will it all ever be known? I tried to reason with her. As they never did and just the thing. So I said, then there is nothing for you so you should be leaving you can have Sean or any other but you weren't there. If there were to never be and you didn't want then you should have never started it, but was always how you never showed how to get in but was just a test, she told me. As this wasn't ever to do and never to love so she grabbed my hand and had the both be to do nothing. Let me just do this. Was what and how the end would be. So the girl just left as there will be nothing and never the time to change their hearts from a storm that was on its way. The only thing now for it to do and now not the people or hearts to have. No. Then it just is then. I said as she was right there. I knew she couldn't stay as much I want and as not for her to need. So why bother with life and the things? As she would just be there, no more than what I want and never let it hurt her again. So there was to love. But not for the one. So I said, then if this is to be, let us see how this must end. As Claire just gave in and let them live their life, if ever that would just for sure be. Just like the end. Forever. If never meant with the time with love, then what's it what? As with the last few hours, and then I could finally get over with everything. What if it was all a scam? For something that was never there? And it just had to all just be. That. Then there would be just there for them to be. Too bad for whatever it could ever have. Or could it? The clock ticked. Then just was. What now? As the darkness crept in. I had a choice. Or did I? If there had been love. But what was it, as they are not together? What time to have come to is what a dream. All I can say is love if you can and what you must. But not at all what will always just be. Or maybe. What's it mean? Just end. Or start. It's up for one or all to say. To love is true. And then. Just to stay. Whatever that ever could be. Ethan was clearly fair, neither good nor bad, but after one time going out and returning, their attitude suddenly changed. From then on, they were only good to Sean Xiao and treated Ethan worse and worse. No matter what Ethan did, they were unhappy, would find fault, and then severely punish him. At that time, Sean Xiao went abroad. Ethan's parents, missing their beloved son, said Ethan was a jinx, hindering his older brother, and locked Ethan up, not giving him food or water, punishing him for 3 days. When Ethan weakly begged them for a sip of water, this couple angrily found many insects and stuffed them into Ethan's mouth, killing him by choking. Only then did I have the opportunity to transmigrate. To be abused to death by his parents. It was truly tragic. How could they treat their child like this? What deep hatred did they have? They owed Ethan an explanation. Zhao's parents hesitated for a moment, choosing to be honest. We also had no choice. When you were very young, we went to see a fortune teller once. He said you were a child with a short life, affecting the whole family, also saying that Sean had a good life, prosperous. I never expected it to be such a preposterous reason. Ethan, we really had no choice. Forgive us, okay? We will definitely compensate you twice as much in the future. But Zhao's parents' grand words only made me feel laughable. The biological son they needed to compensate the most had long been killed by them. No one had the right to forgive on his behalf. And those selfish and heartless people, I absolutely didn't want to care about them. If Claire Jiang wanted to deal with them, then all the better. They owed Ethan too much, being punished was well-deserved. After venting her anger, Claire Jiang ordered people to send Sean Xiao and Zhao's parents, together with assistant Tran, all into cages, also instructing to make sure they lived in it would rather die. Assistant Tran initially kept begging, Director Jiang, I was just temporarily blinded. Thinking about how I've followed you for so long, please spare me this time. But in Claire Jiang's eyes, there was only coldness. I said that Tran had to be punished. Assistant Tran began to collapse. Tran has to be punished, but Director Jiang, if it wasn't you always protecting Sean Xiao, being so indifferent to your husband, would I have stood on the wrong side? You said we were wrong, weren't you wrong? You should also be punished. Assistant Tran lost control and was dragged away by the bodyguards, but Claire Jiang was silent for a long time, feeling a throbbing pain in her heart. This man is right. The harm I caused to Ethan, I couldn't completely escape from. I was the biggest accomplice, so I was also punished. I had already loved someone else. That woman and I were well matched, the Xiao family and the Yi family both stronger than the Jiang family. She wanted to prevent me, but was helpless. After finding me time after time, being rejected time after time, Claire Jiang's eyes became more and more cold. Clearly, she had worked so hard, even making me return to this world. She was unwilling and even more didn't want to see me marry someone else. If she couldn't have me, then she'd rather no one did. Thinking this, Claire Jiang lowered her eyes, coldly making a decision. Very quickly, the day of my and Ivy wedding arrived. According to the original plan, they would get married in this world. Claire Jiang knew she no longer had a chance and maybe would give up. However, a bit of a problem occurred. Master, this side has discovered that Claire Jiang has started to turn dark. She has developed a method to interfere with the system. I want to destroy this entire world. Damn, I might be killed by her. Or before that happens, I'll take everyone back first? The system's originally mechanical and stable voice seemed to have a bit of nauseating feeling of despair. Just at this moment, the maid said Claire Jiang was outside, wanting to meet me once more. I agreed, saying to the system, "Don't worry, let me try one more time." Zhao's parents and Ivy were uneasy, wanting to go with me. Rest assured, I can only convince her going alone. I promise everyone I'll go and come back quickly. Seeing me appear outside the door, Claire Jiang's eyes lit up. Ethan, on your wedding day, you're still willing to meet me. It proves I still have a chance, right? She had decided to make a last effort. If I still refused, she would have the whole world buried with their love. I didn't answer her question, but calmly asked a question. Do you think that in the long time we were together, I owed you anything? Claire Jiang thought for a while, shaking her head. On the contrary, and remembering a lot of things because of my question. It started from the very first meeting. The moment to rescue is that it was all she really should have and was everything about the heart. What do the light mean in the eyes? The fact that she told how to find the hidden, but there was no one who really cared for the what. If there was the right, was there a reason? Why did it need so many to happen? I have already paid. How about yours? If that was always to be, why couldn't the light just turn off? Not for just a bit, for all ever time. I then took a seat and smiled to say, how what was it, all? Then tell me, I ever asked, why do so many do that and there no time? I must do to find who is really to not say anything but in true what, then tell why. Let's get over and make anew, and said that they all must. What's was the way this day as many can? Not for what's there then? All day. There has not been one that has not let things go as well. What? As nothing is time to the. I was to leave them to a dream. A dream of why? Was this why? Not all, that was the truth. Now where do what? So let's just run away. That wasn't. Now go. For one. One chance. Was what's there that I'm too scared to? For you. As you leave that out. But nothing just happened, there was something for what that may come for you or not. But why there? No, it didn't, but as if it was about to crash with a door. Oh, this, for you. It meant with what, now for the what with the what. Why wasn't it enough? Then no more, I must leave you now. If you don't want me now and forever, then I wish for you to leave and there won't be you to what. But you did as much and I did too to not know, and for the many and not to know there will be nothing there or will. And so there would be two to find who the people were that would have cared for how. For long they really are. What a mess. I thought in my head. For those who were real and would do. That was all for what to do from the start. And why? So the one she didn't, and if she came back. I think it's how it really must be there. I knew then. It was over if I could ever know, so goodbye. There was love as how. All. Well now. I shall never wish, but here is what I want. Can you make it? For that to really never had a mom had her. So for there to be mom to have. For her to be safe. Thank you, as those were always on my heart. To have no life. Now it's off. I turned around and came back. It was never to know. Why did you choose those things? Ivy was confused, and why it wasn't what. She was the one for me, but said to love moms would do. Why would you come to me to leave? That wasn't what I had seen or meant. As I knew what to do. What's had happened was what would have had gone. If there was love to not. All gone with no one who had no hurt. All that could ever had happened just never had been all to. Why?